Hey film fans, welcome to CinePro, your ultimate hub for all movie recaps. From heartwarming classics to the latest blockbusters. Our movie begins with a girl running in the forest, very scared, and she runs out onto the road and signals a car to help her. When the car stops, the girl gets startled and becomes very frightened, and her fear was justified because the person in the car shoots her. And not only that, but Daniel finished her off with an axe. Then we move to Cassie, her father Lucas, and Lucas's friend Sarah, who were on their way to a quiet and lovely village to spend their summer vacation. Cassie had been struggling with psychological issues ever since her father started dating Sarah. Afterward, they head to the house, which is Lucas's family home, the house where he lived during his childhood. Lucas called his brother and thanked him and went inside. At the end of the day, Lucas cooked dinner and they sat down to eat. Cassie kept annoying Sarah with her words, so her father got angry at her. But she left and walked out of the house. She then went to a bar to have a couple of drinks. Some men there started bothering her, but Tucker intervened, told them to leave her alone. The man backed off and left. Cassie thanked Tucker for standing up for her and got to know him and his girlfriend Anna. They chatted for a while, and they asked her what she was doing in such a gloomy place. She replied that her father brought her here. Anna said, "Honestly, this isn't a place anyone would come to for fun." Cassie replied, "Then maybe there are haunted houses or magical rituals, as we hear in legends." Anna admitted, "There's the McKinley family. They've been here for 100 years, and only a brother and sister remain. Nobody knows if they're alive or dead. Their house is terrifying, and anyone who gets close to it disappears." Anna then showed her pictures of people who had disappeared and never been seen again. Cassie said she wanted to see that house. Anna warned her, saying, "This girl came here as a tourist just like you and went to the house to take pictures. Unfortunately, she never came back and disappeared." Cassie listened to her and ignored the warning, asking for the house's address. Anna agreed, saying, "We'll come with you." Cassie, however, was fearless and determined. She got out of the car and approached the house. Not only that, but she opened the window and went inside. So, they all entered the house and started searching around saying, "Let's leave." But Cassie went down to the basement. Naturally, Anna and Tucker followed her. Once they entered the room, they smelled a terrible odor. There was a mattress on the floor with bloodstains on it. Cassie found a camera, opened it, and saw a video of the girl tied up, being tortured by a man and a woman. The girl was pleading with them to let her go, but the man said, "Why don't you want to die and join your mother?" At that moment, the siblings, Clint and May, arrived at the house. Clint told May, "Search outside, and I'll search inside the house to see who owns the car parked in front of our house." The group hid from him, and after he left, they decided to escape. Anna and Tucker jumped out of the window, but when Cassie tried to follow, her shoe got caught on something. By the time she freed herself, the man was already beneath the window. Cassie entered a room and found a photo of a woman with 2 children, a boy and a girl. There was someone lying on the bed, completely covered. Cassie uncovered the blanket and found a skeleton lying there. She was terrified, and the photo slipped from her hand and broke. Meanwhile, as Anna and Tucker were leaving the house, May saw them and fired a shot at them, injuring Tucker in the hand. Cassie eventually joined them, and they fled in the car. Clint looked at May with disgust and said, "Don't worry, I'll find them." The group sat in the car, not believing they had made it out alive. Anna was still shaken, feeling they were destined to die. Cassie returned home, and Lucas noticed the bullet hole in the car's window. He called out to her and asked what had happened. Cassie said she didn't know. Lucas became very angry, but Sarah tried to calm him down, saying, "If she says she doesn't know, then she doesn't know." Sarah was trying hard to win Cassie over and make her like her, but Cassie didn't appreciate her efforts and left. Lucas called the police and an officer came to investigate. Lucas explained that his daughter had taken the car the previous night and returned with it in this condition. When he asked her what had happened, she said she didn't know. The officer said, "It could have been a stray bullet." Sarah suggested they go to the shop to get some supplies. Lucas went to a store that sold weapons and bought a gun. Meanwhile, Clint and May, the killers, were planning how to deal with the group. May said she knew Tucker and that he lived with his grandmother. Clint remarked that the car probably belonged to someone from outside the village, as he didn't recognize it. May assured him, "I'll find them. Anyone who enters my mother's house must be punished." Later, Tucker called Anna, sounding unusual, and asked her where she was. She told him she was at work and asked him, "What is that sound?" He replied, "I'm sorry," and hung up. She found a car parked in front of the shop, went out to see what was happening, and found Tucker in the car, hitting violently. "My mother was under the car, and it injured her legs. I fell to the ground, and the entire blow landed on her head." Afterward, Tucker and I regained consciousness and said, We are in the chains of poison in the basement of McKinley's house, screaming and crying. I told them, you came here willingly before. This time, I brought you here against your will. I said to him, that didn't happen. He told her, your friend confessed against you. Tucker said, that didn't happen. None of us entered this house. He replied, where did the bullet in your arm come from? He asked, who was the girl with you? She had hair different from yours, and she was the one who entered and hurt my mother. I said, I don't know. He asked Tucker, who was with you here in the house? If you tell me, I'll let you live. So he said it was Cassie, and she is from the Vanderbilt family. The teacher said, I've known that family for years. I said, I'll go check out Cassie's place. But May said, let's see what we'll do with these two first. Tucker said, we didn't say anything to the police or mention your grandmother. She got angry and stabbed him in the stomach with a knife. The next day, Tucker and Anna were died, and Clint and May stood in front of their corpses, saying how fun the night was. Clint told her, the Vanderbilt family is very wealthy and well-connected. If one of them disappears, the police will look for them. If the police come here, our cousin will lose his mind. Clint dragged Tucker's body and threw it to the wolves, back to Cassie and Sarah, who asked her, why have you been so quiet lately? If you need to vent or talk to me. Cassie told her, why should I talk to you? Sarah said, consider me your mother or sister. Cassie replied, but you're not my mother or sister. You're just someone dating my dad. And she left. Her father saw her and called out to her, but she ran into the woods. Later, Cassie got lost in the woods and couldn't find her way back home. She kept calling for her father, but Clint and May were in the woods, watching her. Eventually, Cassie returned home and reconciled with her father, telling him that his behavior made her so stubborn. Then asked for the car keys to visit her new friends. He gave her the keys and told her to take care of herself. Cassie went to the bar where she met someone named Anna and Tucker, and Clint was still watching her. At the same time, Lucas asked why there was a weapon in the house. She told him it was because of the way things were in the car. She told him not to overreact, saying it was just a hunting incident and that they would get rid of the weapon. Cassie returned to the bar, where the officer approached her, asking if she was from the Vanderbilt family. She confirmed, and he said he had been at their place yesterday regarding a car issue. She said she saw him. He told her he had asked the bar owner about Tucker and me, and the owner said the last time we were there, she was with us. She confirmed. He asked what happened afterward. She fell silent. He told her he was asking because Tucker and Anna had disappeared after that night, and she was the last person with us. He asked if they had mentioned going on a trip or anything. She said no. He handed her his card, asking her to contact him if she learned anything. Lucas was about to dispose of the gun but felt uneasy, so he took the gun and a hairbrush, placed them in a bag, and went to Sarah, pretending he would dispose of the gun as she requested. Meanwhile, they heard a knock at the door. Lucas opened the door to find a dead cat thrown at the doorstep, its blood everywhere. Later, Cassie returns to the house and finds Sarah tied to a chair and beaten. Cassie tries to untie her, but then her brother, Clint, arrives and hits her on the head. At the same time, Mika ties Lucas up in the garden and places an apple on Lucas's head and fires a shot at it with a rifle, narrowly missing him. Meanwhile, Cassie and Sarah are tied to chairs as Clint beats them, swearing to Cassie that he will have her for dinner tonight, to teach her a lesson about invading people's homes and snooping into their secrets. He leaves to check on Mika and Lucas. Cassie remembers the phone number of Officer Vinny. Despite being tied up, she manages to call him and asks him to come quickly, as they are in danger of being attacked. Later, Clint, Mika, and Lucas enter the house. Clint tells Mika to kill Lucas, but she refuses, saying she has her reasons for keeping him alive. Clint finds her response disgusting. They argue until Mika points a gun at him and threatens to kill him, forcing him to back off and leave. Officer Vinny arrives and confronts Clint, saying, "Didn't I tell you to keep your madness with your sister limited to strangers and vagrants? Now you've exposed yourself. I can't cover for you anymore." Clint replies, "I'm your cousin." Clint continues, "You need to protect me like you promised. Don't forget that I was supposed to be promoted, but your father liked you better and gave you my position." Vinny dismisses Clint's excuses and tells him to come with him to the station. Clint threatens him, saying, "I have videos of you assaulting young girls." Vinny retorts, "Those were stolen a long time ago," and raises his gun to Clint's face. But Mika shoots Vinny first, and Clint finishes him off with an axe, cutting him into pieces. Mika returns to the house to find Lucas freeing Cassie and Sarah. She tries to attack them, but Lucas fights back, telling her, "I won't let you kill my family." Mika stabs him in the stomach with a knife, but Cassie shoots her in the arm and manages to get closer to the others. Sarah attempts to jump on Mika, but Mika stabs her in the stomach. In the end, Clint and Mika take Lucas outside, tie him up, and set a fire using Vinny's remains. They call out to Cassie, promising not to kill her if she returns. But Cassie doesn't come back. Mika goes into the woods to search for Cassie, while Clint starts eating Vinny's corpse. Mika searches relentlessly, but Cassie ambushes her with an axe, killing her brutally. Cassie then takes a rifle and the axe and returns to confront Clint. She challenges him to fight her, and when he does, she shoots him, killing him instantly. Clint falls into the fire and burns to death. Lucas, Sarah, and Cassie return to the city. Lucas notices Cassie holding an apple and cutting it with a small knife, similar to the one Mika used. Cassie, who has psychological issues, seems to have absorbed Mika's persona and is on her way to becoming a cannibalistic killer herself. And with that, the movie ends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. See you in the next video. Goodbye.